Okay, this lesson will be on systems of linear inequalities. This is a combination of what we did when we graphed linear inequalities, regular ones, and systems. Okay, so let me start with a simple example. All right, let's say I have y. All right, y is less than or equal to 2x plus 4. Let's say the other one is y is greater than or equal to x plus 1. Okay, what you want to do first here is, you notice this is very similar to if these were equal signs, a system. Okay, now what we want to do first, okay, all right, what we want to do first here is we want to go into the menu. All right, we actually want to find the solution. So what I'm going to have here is, because it's in y equals, I'm going to go and graph this. Okay, all right, I'm going to graph this. So this is going to be 2x plus 4. Okay, this is going to be x plus 1. And I'm going to draw it. Okay, I'm going to change my window. Window, standard, exit. Okay, so that's what I have right there. Right? And we know from our systems that that is my answer. So I'm going to do g-solve intersection. I'm going to make note. That point is -3, -2. Okay? Now, that's not going to be our final answers. You notice I have inequalities here. So what I have to do, very simply, okay, I'm going to go ahead and plot this point. -3, -2. All right, there's a point. Okay? That's where these two lines intersect. So what we have to do next, after we find the solution, okay, is we have to graph each line. Now you can either graph using the calculator, or you can graph using your paper, okay. Now, here's what I would do that. Let's go back to this, okay. Let's graph them one at a time, all right. So I'm going to delete x plus 1 for a second. All right, I'm going to go down here, I'm going to delete x plus 1, so I'm just going to graph this. All right, now, what you need, you only need 2 points to make a line. All right, now, what I can do here is if I go to g-solve y-intercept, that will tell me that's going to cross at 0, 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? It also is going to, I can tell the x-intercept, g-solve root, okay? That's -2, 0, okay? Now, so what that is right there, that's going to be that line. Now, a couple things to recall. If you have this or this, it's a solid line. If you have this or this, it's going to be a dashed line. Now here I got a solid line, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this, solid line. Okay? All right, notice I went through that point that I had for an answer. All right, now let's go back and do the other one. All right, so I'm going to go in here, I'm going to delete this one. All right, and I'm going to graph x plus 1. And I'm going to draw that one. There we go. All right, g-solve y-intercept, 0, 1, 0 over 1 up. Okay, I'm also going to find the root, g-solve root, -1, 0, which is right here. And I'm also connecting at that point. All right, whoops, that's not a very good, well-drawn line. All right, let's see here. That's a little bit better. Okay, now, all right, so step 1 was to find the system answer, the system point answer. Okay, step 2, I'm going to graph the lines through the point. All right, using x and y intercepts. Okay, for this one you can use the calculator, for the other one you can solve. Now, step 3, I'm going to shade. Okay, now, this was my first line. It was y is less than 2x plus 4. Now, if you notice, this intersects right here, and what you create is you create 4 sections. Section 1, this little section 2, this little section 3, and this section 4. I got to figure out which area I'm going to shade. Okay? Now,
attention teachers, please check your mailbox for SOL passes.
Okay, now for this one is going down, down. So the only regions that are possibilities are 2 and 3, okay? All right, now for this one that's in red, Okay, that's this line. Okay, this one is going up. So that only possibilities of those regions are 1 and 2. Now you gotta ask yourself, which region got 2 check marks? It's going to be this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shade in that region. Okay, so let me break that down a little bit more simply for you. Okay, anytime you have a crossing line here like this, okay, you're going to have 4 regions. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, basically our answer is going to be one of these 4 areas. Okay, all right. So what we have to do is whatever area gets multiple check marks, that's the area that I ended up shading. Okay, and we're going to do a bunch of examples with this. Okay, let's say I have something that looks like this. Let's say I have y, okay, greater than negative x plus 2. Okay, and let's say y is less than 2x minus 2. All right, so what I want to do, okay, is first find that solution to that system. Okay, so just like before, I'm going in, I'm going to go exit, all right, because this is y equals, I'm going to draw it. I got negative x plus 2. I've got 2x, is 2x minus 2 that I want? Yep, 2x minus 2. Whoops, that's 22, hold on. Okay, 2x minus 2. I'm drawing it. There's my intersection. Let me find that point. G-solve intersect. That's 1.3 comma 0.6. Okay, so about 1.3 comma 0.6 would be about here. Okay, so that's my intersection. Now, what I have to do for each one of these is I gotta find, I gotta graph it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna clear out that first one. All right, that's this line right here. Okay, all right. So what I'm going to have there, all right, I'm going to do G-solve y-intercept, which would be at 2. Okay, y-intercept at 2, and then G-solve root, I'm at 2, 0. Okay, so that's going to be this line going right through there. Okay, then let's go back. I'm going to delete this one. And I'm going to do 2x minus 2. 2x minus 2. All right, draw. All right. G-solve y-intercept, I get negative 2. All right. G-solve root, I get 1, 0. This is the point that I originally wanted. Okay. Now, I made a mistake here. This line needs to be dashed. Okay. Let me fix that one real quick. All right, that's got to be a dashed line. Okay, same thing with this one. It's got to be a dashed line. Notice how I go through my little green point there. All right, now, it's time to shade. So let's start with this first one. That was the line I graphed here. This says y is greater than. Remember, if it's y is greater than, it's above. If it's y is less than, it's below. Okay, so this one is above. So above this point. All right, so this is region 1, 2, 3, and 4. Above this would be these 2, okay? All right, and then I want to do this one, okay? Which is y is less than, which is below, which is these 2 regions. The only reason to get 2 check marks is that, and so that's my answer, okay? Let me do another one, all right, with x and y on the same side, okay? Let me do another one if x and y are on the same side. So let's say I have x plus y greater than or equal to 1, x plus 2y greater than or equal to 1. Okay? Now, this is the one where x and y are on the same side. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to go and I'm going to use the equal area. All right? Simultaneous, 2 things, 1, 1, and 1. The next one is be 1, 2, and 1. And if I solve that, I get 1 comma 0. Okay? So 1 comma 0, that's my point right there. All right? Everything else is going to be graphing that line. Okay? So to graph those, that's going to be x equals 1 and y equals 1. All right? So x equals 1. All right? It happens to be that same point, y equals 1. Since it's that, it's going to be a solid line all the way through. Okay? This one to graph is going to be x equals 1. 2y equals 1. If I divide by 2, I get y equals a half. Okay? So I got x equals 1, y equals a half. Okay? So what I have there is something that looked like this. Alright? Now, here's my regions. Region 1, Region 2, Region 3, Region 4.
Teachers, please check your mailboxes for SOL passes this morning. Teachers, please check your mailboxes for SOL passes this morning. Thank you.
Okay? So what I have here is, for this top one, that first one I graphed, which was this one, okay? Which was this one. That was above, okay? So that's going to be this one and that one. Okay? This line right here, okay? That's the second line, is above. That's this one and this one. If you notice, the only one that got 2 shade marks or 2 check marks was that region right there, and that is your answer. Let me go ahead and do another one real quick for you. Let's say I have 2x minus 1 greater than 2. Let's say 2x, let's say x minus 2y is also greater than 2, okay? Once again, what I'm going to do is, since those are x and y on the same side, all right, I'm going to do 2, negative 1, and 2. This one I'm doing 1, negative 2, and 2. If I solve, that's what I get, 0.6, negative 0.6, okay? So 0.6, negative 0.6. So on a number line, 0.6, negative 0.6 would be somewhere about right there, okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to solve each one of these. So that's 2x equals 2. That's x equals 1, okay? So that's right here. Now, on this one, that's a negative 1y is greater than 2, okay? So when I divide by a negative, that flips around that inequality, okay? So I'm going to shade down with that one, but we'll get to that in a second, all right? So because it's one of those, it's going to be a dashed line, okay? Now this other one, I got x equals 2, okay? Then I got negative 2y is greater than 2. Divide by negative 2, I get y is less than negative 1, because that was a negative there. Okay? Alright, so that's going to be here. Alright? So, what I have is I have something that goes right through those points. Okay? Alright, now, I've got region 1, big region there, small one there, big one there, small one there. Okay, now, what I have to look at is that first line I graphed. This one. Okay? Actually, I'm sorry, it's going to be this one. All right? Because I flipped that around, I'm going less. So less would be regions 2 and 3. All right? This one is also less. Okay? So that's below. That's regions 3 and 4. So the only region that got a double was that one. Okay? All right? And let me do one more example. If you have something that looks like this, let's say I've got x is greater than or equal to negative 1, y is less than or equal to negative 3. Okay, this is pretty simple. All right, since that's x is negative 1, that's going to be like this. It's going to be a solid line. Okay? All right, this one's going to be y is less than or equal to 3, so that's this way. Okay? Now, no need to find the intersection point, okay, because that's pretty simple. That's a box and a Hoy problem. Now, for this one, x is greater than, all right? All right, so if this is region 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay, this was that first line, all right? Greater than would be this way, so those would be the two I got check boxes with, okay? This one is y is less than, which would be below, which would be these two. If you notice, the only one that gets 2 check boxes is that, and that's why that's your answer, okay? So all this takes is a little bit of practice. The shading means that if you substitute it back in, you get your correct answer.